Okay.
Hello, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Madhuri, how are you?
Hare Krishna. Good, Prabhuji.
Okay. So let's get started. So we have two new people here today, Mahesh and Kumar, his neighbor Kumar. Yeah. Okay. So Madhuri, are you ready to recite the shlokas today?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah,
Okay.
I can recite.
Yeah. So go ahead. Hi Aman, how are you? Aman, can you hear me? Hello Aman, maybe you're on mute. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Madhuri, go ahead and recite the shlokas.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Dvitiyotyayah. Sankhya Yoga. Sanjaya Uvacha. Tam Tatha Krupaya Vishtam. Ashrupurna Kulekshanam. Vishidantamidam Vakyam. Uvacha Madhusudanaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastvakashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jushtamasvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Klaibyam Masmagamah Patha Naitatvayupapadyate Kshudram Hrudaya Daurbalyam Tyaktvottishta Parantapa. Arjuna Uvacha Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhye Dronam cha Madhusudana Ishubhih Pratiyotsyami Pujarha Varisudana. Guruna hatva hi mahanubhavan Shreyo bhoktum bhaikshamapih haloke Hatvardhakamanstu guruni haiva Bhunjiya bhogan Rudhira pratigdhan. Nachaitad vidmah kataranno gariyo Yatva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu Yaneva hatva najijivishamas Tevastitaha pramukhe dhartarashtraha Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha Pruchhami tvam dharma sammudhachetaha Yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad Yachhokamuchchoshanamindriyanam Avapya bhuma vasapatnamruddham Rajyam suranamapi chadhipatyam. Sanjaya uvacha eva muktva hrishikesham gudakeshah parantapaha nayotsya iti govindam uktva tushtim babhuvaha. Tamuvacha hrishikeshaha prahasanniv bharata senayorubhayor madhye vishidantamidam vachaha. Shri Bhagavan uvacha अशोचान्यवशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासूनगतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः न त्वेवाहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम् देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरः प्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः तां स्थितिक्षस्व भारत यं हि न विद्यन्ते ते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते नासतो विद्यते भावो न भावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दुष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहा नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे वेदाविनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कं घातयति हन्तिकम् वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवाणि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोचयति मारुतः अच्छेद्यो यदमाद्योऽहं अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेदोषोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतः स्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्माद्देवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मात् परिहार्येथे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद्वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि सर्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याद्धियुद्धश्रेयोन्यः श्रेयोन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम् अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं संग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यति ते व्ययम् सम्भावितस्य च कीर्तिः मरणादतिरिच्यते भयाद्रणादुपतम् मंस्यन्ते त्वां महारथाः येषां च त्वं बहुमतः भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाच्य वादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम् हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः सुखदुःखसमे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि येषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महत् भयात्. You're saying something, Prabhuji?
No. I'm reciting along with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, thought I was missing something.
No.
Okay. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः एकेह कुरु नन्दन बहुशाखाः ह्यनन्ता च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनां यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त्यविपश्चितः वेदवादरताः पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वादिनः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदां क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगेश्वर्य गतिं प्रति भोगेश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां तया प्रहुत चेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदा निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान् यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि संगं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृतदुष्कृते तस्माद्योगाय युज्यस्व योगः कर्मसु कौशलम् कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम् यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशव स्थितधिः किं प्रभाषेते शेत किमासीत व्रजेत किम् श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मान्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सर्वेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधिः मुनिरुच्यते यः सर्वत्राणभिस्नेहतः तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दन्ति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गाणीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्ता आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता ध्यायतो विषमान् पुंसः संगस्तेषूपजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति रागद्वेषविमुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति प्रसादे सुखदुःखानां हानिरप्स्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्यासु बुद्धिः पर्यवतिष्ठते नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयतः शान्तिः अशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम् इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावामिवाम्भसि तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः अपूर्यमाणामचलप्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमापः प्रवशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी विहाय कामान्यः सर्वान् पुमांश्चरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः स शान्तिमधिगच्छति एषा ब्राह्मी स्थितिः पार्थ नैनां प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छति श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु प्रभुजी You are on mute, Prabhuji, I think.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So do you have this practice of reciting all the chapters, or did you practice just this chapter?
Just this chapter, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Just this chapter. Okay.
Actually, I practiced 20 shlokas for our last time we thought around New Year we thought of recitation, right? So I started there.
Okay.
But week you said all 72, so I practiced the last 52 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, you recited like in a 20 years experienced devotee.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah, Mataji have some transcendental voice.
Yeah. Beautiful voice.
Thank
So our tune good, the Vishnu Sahasranamam tune. So it's very, very nice. Yeah. So I didn't want to use the word professional. That's why I said you recited like a 20 years experienced devotee. So very good, very good. So, Swami, how are you?
I'm good. How is
Hey,
everybody?
you sound little
Sorry for
dull.
joining late. Yes.
You sound little dull.
No, Prabhuji. Just I was tired, so that's the reason why I was late.
Did you have to work over the weekend for Facebook?
Not for Facebook.
Okay. Okay.
Just household chores. My parents left today to my
Oh, okay.
sister's thing, so
It's
yeah,
already 6 months that they came here.
4.5. So
4.5
for
months.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Good. So, yeah, were they happy here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
They were they left happy.
Good. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Aman, I think you are not able to hear us earlier. So are you able to hear me now? Okay, no, I still cannot hear you. Anyways, okay. So we'll get started with today's class. Okay, Aman is saying he can hear me, but we cannot hear you. No, Aman, we cannot hear you. Yeah, probably you have to disconnect and rejoin. Maybe sometimes if you turn on the video, that will help. I noticed this couple of times. Yeah, if you turn on the video, then it will help. So you can check. Okay, so what did we discuss last week?
We covered the Bhagavad Gita 2.3 verse.
2.3, right? Okay.
The 4 defects of human beings, Prabhuji, and Arjuna's reasons for not fighting as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So Krishna starts speaking in Bhagavad Gita, starting from 2.2, chapter 2, verse 2. Krishna starts speaking. And as soon as he starts speaking, he chastises Arjuna. Because Arjuna spoke like a learned Pandit in chapter 1. So this is what happens, right? When we are encountered with some challenges or situations in life, we tend to take the role of an advisor to God. Rather than considering God as an advisor, we tend to take the role of an advisor to God. Now, this may sound a little strange, but if you introspect, that's what happens in everyone's life. When we are encountered with some challenges, difficulties in life, then we start questioning God. Hey, why is this happening only to me? Why not everyone else? We start questioning God. We start speaking as if we are advisor to God. Instead of seeking instruction from God and considering God's role as an advisor, we take up the role as advisor to God. Because our mind does not want to accept God's plan. our mind does not want to accept the will of providence, as they say. Because at the end of the day, nothing happens without the will of God. As they say, not even a blade of grass moves without the will of God. So everything is happening very perfectly in this material world. All the planets are rotating in their orbits perfectly with the precision, with precise speed with precise speed. And similarly, things in everyone's life are happening very perfectly. So now when we question God, oh, why is it happening only to me? Why not others? That means we are doubting God's plan. We are questioning God's plan. We are not accepting God's plan. But whatever happens is perfect. Whether it's good or bad for me, it's perfect. Whatever God does, it's perfect. So if we understand that and accept God's role as advisor and start taking instruction, then our life will be successful. We'll be able to make right decisions in our life. So if we observe Arjuna's behavior in chapter 1, he was exactly doing that. He was taking up the role as an advisor to God. He was telling to Krishna that, Krishna, I don't want to fight because of so-and-so reasons. And he gave 4 different reasons for not fighting. And he was quoting Artha Shastra, Dharma Shastra. He was speaking like a learned Pandit. He was advising God. Oh, Krishna, why are you encouraging me to fight? I rather go and beg rather than fight with these people on the opposite side. So he was acting like an advisor to God. And then as Arjuna started, as Krishna started chastising in chapter 2, shloka 2 and 3, Krishna started speaking, and the very beginning itself, Krishna is chastising Arjuna. Chastising means kind of disciplining or scolding. When a child does something wrong, the parent scolds the child. In other words, chastises the child to correct the child's behavior. Krishna is exactly doing that. So in 2.2 and 2.3, Klaibyam masmagama partha naitattvai upapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktotishta parantapa. So Krishna is saying, Uttishta parantapa, you get up and fight. And in the previous verse, Krishna said, how have these impurities come upon you? They do not become you. Because the qualities that Arjuna has is of a great Kshatriya qualities. Whereas the way Arjuna was speaking was like an impotent, not capable of doing anything. That's why Krishna chastised him, saying that these qualities do not become you. They're not at all befitting you. O son of Pritha, they are not at all befitting you. And then let's see what Krishna says in chapter 4, verse 4. So in the previous class, we discussed 2 and 3. Now, 4. So Arjuna starts speaking. Arjuna uvacha. So you all can repeat. Yeah. Arjuna
uvacha.
Katam Bhishmam aham Sankhye.
Katam Bhishmam Sankhye.
Dronam cha Madhusudana.
Dronam cha Madhusudana.
Ishubhihi pratiyosyami.
Ishubhihi pratiyotyami.
Pujarhau arisudana.
Arisudana.
Okay, now we'll go around the room and then everyone will recite the shloka and others will repeat. Okay. Yeah. Madhuri, you want to start?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna
Arjuna
Uvacha
Uvacha
Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhye
Katham
Bhishmamaham
Bhishmamaham Sankhye
Dronam cha Madhusudanaha
Dronam cha
Dronam cha
Madhusudana
Madhusudanaha
Ishubhih Pratiyotsyami
Ishubhi
Pratiyotsyami
Pratiyotsyami
Pujarha Varisudana
Pujarha Varisudana.
Pujaravana.
Okay, Naresh.
Arjuna Vacha
Arjuna
Arjuna Uvacha
Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhye
Katham
Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhye
Dronam cha Madhusudana
Dronam cha
Dronam cha
Madhusudana
Madhusudana
Ishubhi Pratiyotsyami
Ishubhih
Pratiyotsyami
Pujarha Varisudana.
Pujarha
Pujarha Varisudana.
Ashok.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna
Arjuna
Vacha
Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhye
Katham Bhishmamaham
Bhishmam Aham
Sankhye
Sankhye
Dronam cha Madhusudana
Dronam cha Madhusudana
Ishubhi Pratiyotsyami
Ishubhih
Pratiyotsyami
Pujara Varisudhana
Pujarha Varisudana.
Okay, Rahul.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Vacha
Katham Bhishmam Maham Sankhye
Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhye
Dronam cha Madhusudana
Dronam cha
Dronam cha
Madhusudana.
Madhusudana
Ishubhihi Pratiyotsyami
Ishubhi
Pratiyotsyami
Pratiyotsyami
Pujarha Varisudana
Pujarha
Pujarha
Varisudana.
Varisudana
Swati.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna
Uvacha
Vacha
Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhye
Katham
Bhishmam
Bhishmam
Aham
Aham
Sankhye
Sankhye
Dronam cha Madhusudanaha
Dronam cha
Dronam cha
Madhusudana
Madhusudana
Ishubhi Pratiyotsyami
Ishubhih
Ishubhi
Pratiyotsyami
Pratiyotsyami
Pujarha Varisudana
Pujarha Varisudana.
Varisudana
Okay, Kiran.
Arjuna Vacha
Arjuna
Arjuna
Uvacha
Uvacha
Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhye
Katham
Katham
Bhishmamaham
Bhishmamaham
Sankhye
Dronam cha Madhusudana
Dronam cha
cha
Madhusudana
Madhusudana
Ishubhihi Pratiyotsyami
Ishubhih
Ishubhi
Pratiyotsyami
Pratiyotsyami
Pujarha Arisudana
Pujarha
Pujara
Varisudana.
Varisudana
Okay, Venugopal.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna
Arjuna Vacha
Uvacha
Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhye
Katham
Katham
Bhishmamaham
Bhishmamaham
Sankhye
Sankhye
Dronam cha Madhusudana
Dronam
cha
Dronam cha
Madhusudana.
Madhusudana
Shubhi Pratiyoshyami
Ishubhih
Ishubhi
Pratiyotsyami
Pratiyotsyami
Jarha Arisudana
Pujarha
Pujara
Varisudana.
Varisudana
Okay, Aman, can you hear us now? Okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay, that was good. So looks like everyone was following the tune established by Madhuri.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
So that's Madhuri Raga. In music, different songs and different kirtans, they have ragas, right?
Yeah.
Bhairavi Raga, Sindhu Bhairavi Raga, something like that. So we can call it as Madhuri Raga. Oh yeah, sorry, forgot. No, we have two new people. Yes, yes. Yeah.
I'll try if you correct me if something goes wrong.
No. Everyone, we're all equal. Yeah. Go ahead.
Arjuna Vacha
Arjuna.
Vacha
Katam Bhishmam Aham Sankhe
Katam
Katham
Bhishmamaham
Sankhe
Sankhe
Onam Cha Madhusudana
Dronam cha Madhusudana
Ishubhi Pratiyotsyami
Ishubhi
Pratiyotsyami
Darhavi Arisudhana
Arahavarisudana.
Very good. Kumar gar.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna.
Vacha
Aham Sankhe
Katham
Bhishmamaham Sankhe
Dronam cha Madhusudana.
Madhusudana.
Dronam
cha Madhusudana
Pujat How Arisodana
Ishubhi
Ishubhi
Pratiyotsyami
Pratiyotsyami Arahavarisudana.
Okay.
Practice better, Baba.
Yeah, no, he recited well. So so we have this those who have not seen Mahesh and Kumar. So Mahesh dad, I just spoke with him. He's in India. I just spoke with him on the phone, and he's reciting every day, right? Every Ekadashi.
Recite every day.
Yeah.
Or at least 15 days in a month.
Every Ekadashi.
I didn't had a chance to sing along with him.
Yeah.
Like I think in India we take everything as granted.
Yeah.
Now I see that how it is important when we come here and then we go through all these hurdles. Then we get some time to go through these things, and
yes,
we have seen like I've never seen in India like this kind of age people never go to recite anything. Now we are trying to do that one. I think it's all good.
Yeah,
you guys are very good inspiration to all of us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, your dad was very inspiring. When I talked to him only for 2 minutes, but he was very inspiring.
So he's excited whenever I say that I'm going to do it one. He said that okay, I have been doing this for past 40 plus years with you, but you never listen to me. I think at least you are in a good path right now. I'm happy for you. Whatever you are getting it from there, I don't know, but if you are getting something, going through the satsang with the people over there and then learning something, at least one shloka, he's happy for the day.
Very nice, very nice. Because having read Bhagavad Gita since last 10 years, I really like when somebody in India, especially, right, when somebody like elderly parents, when somebody say that they are reading Bhagavad Gita or they have been reading Bhagavad Gita for a long time, I become very happy actually. So, I mean, I was setting up for the class. That's why I could not talk to your dad for a long time. But I was very happy.
No. I thought, my dad is disturbing you. So I thought I cut it off to make sure that you get set it up the class. Yeah, no, I'm very happy. Good. It was very inspiring. So, okay. Yeah. So let's look at the word for word meaning. Okay. By the way, did anyone memorize while we were reciting? Oh, Naresh. Yes. Yeah. Naresh, go ahead.
You want to go ahead?
Yeah. Go ahead and recite without looking at.
With stress, I think I might forgot.
No stress.
Okay. Arjuna Vacha Katam Bhishma Aham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratiyotsyami. Here. Pujarhav Arisudana.
Good. So that's the key line to remember this shloka. That's the key line. Pujarhav Arisudana. Pujarhav means they are worthy of worship. My teacher, like Dronacharya, they are worthy of worship. How can I kill them? Arjuna is saying. So that's the key line. Pujarhau arisudana. So they are worthy of worship. Good. So you are sincere. You close your eyes and recited the shloka. Good. Yeah. Okay. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna said, Katam, how? Bhishmam, Bhishma. Aham, I. Sankhya, in the fight. Dronam, Drona. Cha, also. Madhusudana, O killer of Madhu. Ishubhihi, with arrows. Pratiyotsyami, shall counterattack. Pujar, how? Those who are worshipable. Arisudana, O killer of the enemies. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? Purport. Respectable superiors like Bhishma. Okay, I'm not sharing the screen. Let me share the screen. Somebody wants to look at the screen. Purport. Respectable superiors like Bhishma, the grandfather, and Dronacharya, the teacher, are always worshipable. Even if they attack, they should not be counterattacked. It is general etiquette that superiors are not to be offered even a verbal fight. Even if they are sometimes harsh in behavior, they should not be harshly treated. Then how is it possible for Arjuna to counterattack them? Would Krishna ever attack his own grandfather, Ugrasena, or his teacher, Sandipani Muni? These were some of the arguments offered by Arjuna to Krishna. So Arjuna said, O killer of the enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of worship? Now you look at the transition in Arjuna from chapter 1 to chapter 2. If you notice the transition, in chapter 1, he was speaking like a learned Pandit, and he was kind of advising to Krishna, saying that we should not fight, we should not kill these people who are my kinsmen. If I kill them, I will incur sinful reactions. It is better for me to beg rather than kill my own people. If we kill the men on the opposite side, it will lead to Varna Sankara, the unwanted progeny. And I don't want to be the cause of that Varna Sankara or unwanted progeny. So Krishna was quoting a lot of Shastric references and acting like a learned Pandit. He was Arjuna. Arjuna was acting like a learned Pandit, and he was kind of advising to Krishna. And as Krishna started chastising him, then now he is in the mood of negotiation with Krishna. So now he has come down a little bit, saying that, how can I, in other words, he's saying that, okay, Krishna, I get what you are saying, but how can I counterattack with arrows, in men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship. So Bhishma is the grandfather, the grandsire of Kuru dynasty, who trained, who mentored everyone, both in the Pandava army and Kaurava army. And Dronacharya, the teacher, is the one who taught the Kshatriya skills to everyone, including Pandavas and Kauravas. So when people who are worthy of my worship are standing in front of me on the opposite side, how can I counterattack them with arrows? Not only forget about fighting, but even having a verbal fight with them is not accepted in Vedas. So when a teacher or guru is speaking, even if it is harsh, we should not take it personal, or we should not take it in a negative manner. And we should not say anything. We should not say anything against to guru or teacher. In fact, when a guru or teacher chastises us, it's a blessing. So most of the times, our tendency is, if the guru is talking to us and behaving with us nicely and smoothly, then we think that, okay, guru is happy with me. But no, I mean, that is the situation we are seeking. That is a favorable situation we are seeking. But what is a blessing is when the guru is chastising us, when the guru is disciplining us, then that is a blessing. Even though the guru is speaking harsh words, but it is for our good sake, it is for our spiritual growth. The guru is speaking those words. So even if the guru speaks in harsh words, we should not speak against to him. Now, Arjuna, as Prabhupada writes further in the purport, the last two sentences, Arjuna did not speak these words, but Prabhupada is telling that Arjuna had this doubt in mind, that when Krishna asked to fight with Arjuna's teacher and grandfather Bhishma, then Arjuna had a doubt, oh, did Krishna, or would Krishna ever fight with his teacher Sandipani Muni and grandfather Ugrasena? So then how come Krishna is asking me to counterattack Bhishma and Drona? So those are the doubts that Arjuna had in his mind. He did not speak, but the Acharya is interpreting it that way. So before we go to the next verse, does anyone have anything? Does anyone want to comment on the previous verse, 2.4?
I was able to memorize it, Prabhupada.
You memorized?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You want to recite?
Yeah, sure, Prabhupada.
Yes. Actually, when you know the meaning, then it is easy to memorize and remember for long time. If you
discovered
just memorize for the sake of memorizing, you may remember for a couple of hours or for one day. But if you know the meaning and if you remember the meaning, then it will stay with you forever. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure forever, but for now, I'm able to remember it.
Yeah, okay.
Arjuna uvacha katam bhishmam. Oh, I lost it. Katam bhishmam aham sankhye dronam cha madhusudana ishubhihi pratiyotsyami pujara varisudana.
Okay, good. We all have sincere souls. Rahul is looking at a wall. Madhuri is also looking at the ceiling. They are not looking at the book. Naresh was closing his eyes. Kiran was also looking at the ceiling. Swati is looking at the sky. You're looking at the book. You're the most sincere of all.
Most unsincere of all. Looking at the book and still trying to learn.
Good. Very good.
Prabhu, I'll give a shot.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Arjuna vacha katham bhishmam aham sankhye dronam cha madhusudanaha. Okay, next time. Ishubhihi pratyasthyami pujarha arisudana.
Yeah, good. You got it.
A little bit.
Yeah, very good. So look, that's a good competition. Everyone is in the mood of memorizing the shlokas. Very good. Yeah.
Because I practice this chapter, Prabhuji, I learned a few shlokas by heart because I read it few times, and also first time when I read each shloka, I also read the meaning. So I by hearted a few of them. One of my favorite is like karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhu mate stango sangotsva karmani. Yeah, that one is one of them. And I realized that, I mean, I studied in KV, so we have an elective of choosing either Sanskrit or Hindi out of after like 8th standard. So I chose Sanskrit. So in that, I think one of the other shloka is also there. The one where it says, I mean, like, get rid of moham and everything, right? Like, I forgot. Similar to that, I think after that it comes.
Yeah, raga, bhaya, krodha.
I think it says, Krodham, basically anger distracts your
62.
intelligence, and intelligence,
62 and 63. Prabhuji.
Yeah, actually those two, almost same.
Smriti
Buddhinasha pranashyati.
Buddhinash Pranashyati, yeah.
Yeah, that's my famous for myself and my child. Jayate.
Krodhat bhavati
Jayate.
sammoha.
Yeah.
Smriti Vibhramaha. Smriti Vibhramshat Buddhinasha Pranashyati. Yeah, that one is also like, yeah. I think I had the shloka in my one of the classes.
Yeah. So, I mean, in that section, Krishna explains how one develops lust and greed, anger. It's very scientific. There's no psychologist or there's no scientist who has come up with such a scientific analysis how that thing happens and how to address lust, anger, and greed. Or first of all, in the first place, how does it all begin in the first place? So it's a very scientific process that Krishna means.
Does it begin with a thought? Does it begin with a thought? Is it thought the beginning?
Yeah, it begins with a thought. So it begins with
He says that
contemplation actually.
Yeah, actually, when when a human being is interested in material positions, he would develop a lust towards it, and lust turns into anger. And anger, once it comes, it kills the intelligence or the higher intelligence, basically the consciousness, and would be lost in that, and eventually it leads to further degradation of the soul.
Yeah, if lust is not fulfilled, it leads to anger. If lust is fulfilled, it leads to greed. But how does this lust even develop? Lust is nothing but strong desire. Like, for example, I see an object in the shopping mall, and I develop a strong desire to buy that, to obtain that. Now you start contemplating on it, and over a period of time, you develop strong desire, and the strong desire becomes lust. And if that lust is not fulfilled, it leads to anger. The lust is fulfilled, that means you get that object. Now you want more and more. You develop more desires to obtain more similar objects for more happiness. So, and it all starts with contemplation. One day you just went to the shopping mall just for roaming around, and you just saw an object and you started contemplating on it. So it starts with contemplation. And Krishna says, curb this enemy of lust in the very beginning. That's the solution. Krishna says, curb this enemy of lust in the very beginning. In the very beginning means in the beginning stage, contemplation stage. So if you see something, just ignore, don't contemplate. I mean, it is impossible not to see objects. When you are living in the material world, there are so many things happening around. It's impossible for us not to see things. You can see, and whenever we see anything, the mind takes a snapshot of it and puts into the repository. But if you contemplate on that, and then, like if you feed that and contemplate, then that starts becoming a lusty desire. But if you just curb that idea in the very beginning, then no lust, anger, no greed. Yeah, it's a very scientific thing.
Yeah, in later shlokas he explains like how to, like, you have how to control this lust. Senses would obviously wander around, but how to like bring the attention to like Krishna consciousness, or like on me, and I can help you control it, kind of.
Yeah. So because all
very beautiful last this thing.
The last section of this chapter is very beautiful.
Kind of answers all our questions.
So starting from 2.40 onwards, the shloka 40th onwards, it's very, very, very beautiful. So the attachment, it's a mind game, right? When we see an object, the mind, how the mind behaves, it's uncontrollable. So if we let the mind, if we give a small leverage to the mind, it starts dominating us. So I can remember a small story with regards to this. It's not related to our 2.4 or 2.5, but since we are talking about the last section of Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, especially attachment, and when we give leverage to the mind, how mind dominates us. In that regard, I remember a story. Does anyone know the story called Never Keep a Cat? No? Never keep a cat. Okay, Madhuri?
Because then it's angry, it's going to eat you.
Huh?
When it's angry, it will eat you. Is that why, Prabhuji?
Sorry, what is
it's when it's too hungry and you don't feed it, it will eat you or something.
Okay.
I heard some other thing, Prabhuji. The cat will always, I don't know,
is not faithful, actually. Like
it always thinks, or it always just the master goes blind. So that something like that, so that it can go and drink all the milk it wants, or do whatever, something like that.
Okay. No,
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. Okay.
In Telugu, there is a saying also, like when when cat drinks milk, it closes its eyes and thinks that the whole world is blind.
Whole world will. Yeah, it thinks that the whole world is not seeing and
seeing it. Yeah.
Okay. So the story. The story, Never Keep a Cat, is there was an old monk who was at the tail end of his life. He was on his deathbed, and all of his disciples in the ashram come to the deathbed, and they start talking to him, and they want to listen the final words of their spiritual master, the monk. And the monk says, never keep a cat, and then he dies. This is the only sentence he says, never keep a cat, and then he dies. And then everyone is surprised, So how do we interpret this? Never keep a cat. He did not give any clue, and now how do we take this instruction as? And then everyone is scratching their head, and they don't have any clue. Then there is a successor after that, spiritual master, the old monk died. There is a successor in the ashram who was going to, lead the ashram. Even that successor does not have any clue. What does that mean? Never keep a cat. Then he approaches another senior monk, and seek his advice. The spiritual master, the previous spiritual master, gave this instruction before he died: never keep a cat. So what does it mean? Then that senior monk explains this, that this old monk, the spiritual master who passed away, so once upon a time, before he became a monk, he was a grihastha. He had a household life, family, wife and children, and then eventually he renounced everything. He renounced the family and started taking sannyasa life. And then in that village, all the villagers, they arranged a small hut for the sannyasi to live in, so that he's comfortable and he does not have to, struggle for the basic necessity of living. So then they build a small hut for him, and then the monk starts living in that. And then, I mean, he has the only asset he has is set of clothes, right? Nothing else. The monks don't have anything else, any other belongings, except some clothes. They don't have any other belongings. Then probably the monk had, 10 pairs of clothes to wear. But the problem was there were rats. There were rats who were... Okay, 1 second. I think somebody came to the house. Yeah, can you please open?
Hello, Jack. Hello.
Okay. Hey, Abhi. Harish, bro. Yeah. So this monk, he had 10 pairs of clothes, and there were rats, in that place. Every day the rats were coming inside and biting the clothes, and eventually the monk was left with only 2 pairs of clothes. Then he really started worrying, and he approached the villagers for a solution. What to do now, because all of my clothes are getting torn, and I only have now 2 pairs of clothes. Then the villagers advised him, why don't you keep a cat? To kill the rats, why don't you keep a cat? Then the monk likes that idea, and he says, okay, I think that's a good solution. Then the villagers bring a cat, and then the monk keeps the cat in his hermitage. And then after a few days, the monk started wondering, how should I feed my cat? Cat needs some milk, right? How should I feed my cat? So every day he asked the villagers to bring some milk. So for a few days, the villagers bring some milk and feed the cat. But then over a period of time, it becomes too much for the villagers to supply milk every day. Then one day the villagers advise, oh monk, why don't you keep a cow so that you can feed the cat? Then the monk thinks, oh, that's a good idea. And then the villagers bring a cow. And then he gets the milk from the cow and starts feeding the cat. And then after a few days, the monk starts wondering, how will I feed the cow? We need to feed grass, right? So he goes to the village and starts fetching grass. So after a few days, the villagers observe him, and old monk every day going out and fetching grass. It's very difficult. Then they advise that there is a widow in the village. Why don't you keep her in the hermitage? She will work hard. She will, keep the hermitage very clean, and she will fetch the grass, take care of the cow, feed the cat, and the cat will take care of the rats. Everything will be fine. The monk liked that idea. And then the villagers bring that widow, and then the widow starts living in the hermitage. And then after a few years, then they get married, and then there is a child born. And then the monk realizes, as soon as the child is born, the monk realizes, what am I doing? I had a family, I had a wife and children. I renounced them Now I'm again in the family now. All this because of cat. That's why he gave an advice, never keep a cat. So the moral of the story is, I mean, if we give some small leverage to the mind, then the mind starts dominating. The mind starts dominating, and then we don't realize, and it will be too late before we realize that we have accumulated so much and we have developed attachment. It'll be difficult to come out of that. So that's what exactly Krishna tells in the last section of this second chapter. Curb this enemy of lust in the very beginning. Do not even contemplate. So if you don't remember the philosophy, just remember the story. Never keep a cat. Abhi, did you hear the entire story? Never keep a cat. Okay? So, okay.
My son has been asking for a cat. Now I know
Now you
the
say,
kind of story I can tell him.
Now you tell him. Remember, you saw that Prabhuji in the temple who gave you a nice kurta? So he gave an instruction, never keep a cat.
He's here, he's listening to the story, he's not happy about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Regarding the 2.4 verse.
2.4.
Yeah, we are discussing.
Yeah.
It's we can all put ourselves in Arjuna's shoes on this verse, right? Because we run into the situation in every aspect of our life.
Yeah.
Let's say, right, for example, now layoffs are happening. Like we put our loyalty.
Yeah.
And then we put our hard work into it.
Yeah.
Now we didn't expect to get affected.
Yeah.
And then how could this is the times that we connect to this verse. How could this happen?
Yeah.
So I have a worship work. And still, is this fair?
Yeah.
It's like Arjuna. How could I fight for the one who is worthy of worship?
Yeah.
And that's one example. The second example is again, sometimes we worship, let's say, some gurus, and then there are so many examples of they worship years and years.
Yeah.
And they come to realization that after so many years they got cheated.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a situation. We will get into this dilemma. Should I reject this guru because somebody said something and somebody probing that they are doing something, some accusations are there.
Yeah.
So it is a challenge for a devotee also when we are in this pursuit. So this is a great emphasis here. We should give emphasis that we might fail, and some in the future, right? Gurus, the spiritual masters whom we worship for years and years, into whom we put our heart, and we can run into those situations.
Yeah.
And then this is where I think we have to, Krishna's advice we should take. How Krishna convinces Arjuna to fight against his own Pitamaha and his own Acharya.
Yeah.
That's when the time comes also us, how to navigate when you get cheated. It could be your spiritual master, or it could be your own spouse, right? How do we deal with this situation? So I think we're all in this situation to some degree, in some example.
Yeah.
That's what I want to run to my mind. This verse is very important.
Yeah.
This is where we feel actually the pain. So when we feel the pain, then we can look for the, what the solution Krishna gave to Arjuna.
Yeah, Arjuna was battling an external fight, and we are battling the internal fight. So the two examples that Naresh Prabhu gave, right? The layoffs. So everyone works. Everyone worships their work. They say work is worship. Work is worship. But what Krishna says about work in chapter 18, Ashok? What does Krishna say about work and worship? in chapter 18.
Chapter 18, work.
Yeah.
Work is also of 3 types.
Mm-hmm.
And, so in what I can recollect is, Prabhuji, if you are expecting some kind of gains from it, sometimes that's like the Rajasic type, where the outcome is not what you, sometimes the outcome might be something what you don't like.
Yeah.
And the Sattvic, the kind of work is something where you work and you don't expect the results out of it. I mean, like you submit, like you offer the results to the God, or something like, I've done my work, now
Yeah.
rest is left to the God.
Yeah.
That one. And I'm not able to recollect the Tamasic one, Prabhuji.
Tamasic, you don't work at all. Either you're lazy or lethargic. You don't put your 100% into it. So in those 3 set of verses, Krishna tells, see work as worship. Do not consider work is worship. That the common men in the society, they consider work is worship. That means that is their object of worship. That is their deity. Facebook is deity for Swati. Swati is nodding head, saying no.
We are all dependent on it, Prabhuji. Like we also become very dependent on it. Like I mean, we give all our control to it because we buy houses and other stuff basing on our salary, and we cannot leave it even if we want to. It's like I mean, a cycle of yeah. We want to first.
Do not keep a cat story.
Story, yeah, exactly.
So,
Become,
yeah, just to maintain the house, you keep a job. Just to keep a job, you do something else. Just to feed the cat, you keep a cow. Just to feed the cow, you keep that woman, and then and so on. And then you get children and family. Yeah. So one thing leads to another. Harilas Maharaj says, one thing leads to another. So yeah. So coming back to this. Work is worship versus work as worship, right? Common men in the society, they consider work is worship. But Krishna advised us in chapter 18 to look at work as worship. And as Ashok said, if one is working in the mode of goodness, there are 3 ways of working, right? 3 ways of doing anything, whether working, eating, or having faith in something. Every activity can be done in 3 different modes: mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So working in the mode of goodness, you believe that you are working for God and you see that work as worship. Okay. If I work, if I perform this duty, then I get some money. And with that money, I can maintain myself and my family. And we all can engage in devotional service. And I can also donate to the propagation of the Vedas, propagation of message of Krishna, and I can support the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and other classes of men. Because all the other 3 classes of men, they are dependent on Gruhasthas. The 3 classes of men as well as 3 Varnas, they are dependent on Gruhasthas and the business people who are earning money. So if you see work as worship, then you are not affected. You're not affected even by layoffs or whatever happens. Even if you have a house, you're not worried. So because you understand that it is Krishna's plan. Whatever happens, it is Krishna's plan. First of all, we don't have any control. Somebody is laying off us. We don't have any control. Rather, we look at it as it is Krishna's perfect plan, and we wait to see what Krishna has in store for us. What is Krishna trying to teach us through this incident? Okay, let's go back to 2.5. So we haven't started, right? Yeah, we haven't started reciting the verse. Yeah. Okay, 2.5. Okay. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Shreyo Bhoktum Vaikshamapi Haloke.
Shreyo Bhoktum Vaikshamapi Haloke.
Atvartha Kamamstu Guru Nihaiva.
Atvartha Kamamstu Guru Nihaiva.
Bhunjiya Bhogan Rudira Pradigdan.
Bhunjiya Bhogan Rudira Pradigdan.
Okay, so this time we'll do something differently. Okay, we'll look at the word for word meaning, read the translation, and then we'll repeat the words so that it'll become easier to memorize the words. Gurun, the superiors. Ahatva, not killing. He, certainly. Mahanubhavan, great souls. Shreya, it is better. Bhoktum, to enjoy life. Vaiksham, by begging. Api, even. Iha, in this life. Loke, in this world. Hatva, killing. Artha, again. Artha, gain. Kaman, desiring. To, but. Gurun, superiors. Iha, in this world. Eva, certainly. Bunjiya, one has to enjoy. Bhogan, enjoyable things. Rudira, blood. Pradigdan, tainted with. Translation. It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. Okay. Now let's repeat the shloka. So Naresh, you want to start?
Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Guru
Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Shreyo Bhoktum Vaiksham Api Haloke.
Shreyo Bhoktum Vaiksham Api Haloke.
Vardhakamantu Guru Nihaiva.
Atvarthakamamstu Guru Nihaiva.
Jiya Bhogan Rudira Praviddan.
Bhunjiya Bhogan Rudira Pradigdan.
Okay, Madhuri.
Yeah. Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Actually, you can recite in your tune.
Okay. Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Shreyo Bhoktum Vaikshamapi Haloke.
Shreyum Bhoktum Vaikshamapi Haloke.
Hatvarthakamamstu Guru Nihaiva.
Atvarthakamamstu Guru Nihaiva.
Bhunjiya Bhogan Rudira Pradigdan.
Bhunjiya Bhogan Rudira Pradigdan.
Ashok.
Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Guru
Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan.
Shreyum Bhoktum Vaiksham Api Haloke.
Shreyo Bhoktum Vaikshamapi Haloke.
Vartakamanstu guruni haiva.
Vartakamanstu guruni haiva.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Okay, Swati.
Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan. Shreyu bhuktam bhaiksyam api haloke.
Bhuktum bhaikshamapi haloke.
Hatvartakamanstu gurun ahaiva.
Vartakamanstu guruni haiva.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Okay, Mahesh.
Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan.
Guru
Mahanubhavan.
Bhuktam vaikshamapiha loke.
Shreyum bhuktum vaikshamapiha loke.
Hatvartakamamstu guruni haiva.
Hatvartakamanstu guruni haiva.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Rahul.
Guruna hatva hi mahanubhavan.
Hatvahi mahanubhavan.
Shreyo bhoktum bhaikshamapi haloke.
Shreyotum bhoktum vaikshamapi haloke.
Hatvarta kamamstu guruni haiva.
Hatvartakamanstu guruni haiva.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Okay, Kiran.
Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan.
Nahatvahi mahanubhavan.
Shreyo bhoktam bhaiksham api haloke.
Bhoktum vaikshamapi haloke.
Hatvartha kamamstu gurun ihaiva.
Hatvartakamanstu guruni haiva.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan.
Bhunjiya bhogan rudira pradigdhan.
Okay, Venugopal.
So where is the screen?
Okay, you read the screen. Okay.
Guru nihatva hi mahanubhavan.
Mahanubhavan.
Shreyo bhuktam vaikshamapi haloke.
Shreyo bhuktam vaikshamapi haloke.
Yeah, go ahead. Venugopal, are you on mute? Venugopal, we can't hear you. Okay. Anyways, Kumar garu మీరు చెప్పు.
Gurunahatvihi mahanubhaven yogotum vaikum apiha loke atvartaka masu gurunheva munjiya bhoga rudira
Pratikdan. Yeah. Okay. Did I miss anyone else? We got covered, right? Everyone is covered. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at the purport.
Can I read the purport?
You want to read the purport? You woke up? Oh, good. Yeah. Yeah, read the translation and purport.
It would be by making them to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers, even though desiring worldly gain. They are superiors. If they are killed, everything we will enjoy will be tamed. Everything we enjoy will be tamed with blood.
Yeah. Okay, purport.
According to the spiritual oath, a teacher who engages in abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned. Bhisma and Drona were take the side of Duryodhana because of his financial assistance. Although they should not have accepted such a position simply of financial considerations under the circumstances, they have lost the responsibility of teachers. But Arjuna thinks that nevertheless, they remain his superiors, and therefore to enjoy material progress after killing them would mean to enjoy spoil.
Yeah.
But Arjuna thinks that nevertheless you are not reading.
No, he read. He read.
Okay.
So there. Yeah. Okay. So now in this shloka, Arjuna is saying that instead of killing my own teacher and grandfather Bhishma, I would rather go and beg. It would be better for me in this world by begging than to live at the cost of lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So there are two reasons why Bhishma and Drona took the side of Kauravas. There is one external reason and one internal reason. So the external reason, as appears to be, and as Prabhupada wrote in this purport here, so Bhishma and Drona, they had a financial obligation to be on the side of Kauravas.
Both Bhishma also or just Drona?
Drona especially, because he was the teacher for both Kauravas and Pandavas. Dhritarashtra was giving financial support, in terms of paying the tuition fees to Dronacharya for teaching the Kshatriya skills. So he was receiving financial support from Dhritarashtra, right? Who was, after Pandu left, Dhritarashtra was responsible for taking care of all these Pandavas and Kauravas. So Drona, since he was getting the financial support from Dhritarashtra, he felt obligated to be on the side of Duryodhana. That is external reason. But the internal reason why Drona and Bhishma took the side of Duryodhana, or one thing is Krishna put them in that situation. Krishna put them in that situation to teach a lesson to the world that no matter how strong you are, how powerful you are, how skilled you are in this world, but if you don't have Krishna on your side, it is nothing. Your power means nothing. Your skills, your power, your talent, your your extraordinary power, everything, it does not mean anything if you don't have Krishna on your side. So Krishna wanted to teach that lesson to the world. That's why he put Drona and Bhishma on the side of Duryodhana. Because Drona and Bhishma are the most powerful warriors on the side of Duryodhana. But their power does not mean anything because they don't have Krishna on their side. So that is the internal reason. And another internal reason why Bhishma chose to be on Duryodhana's side is he wanted to exchange loving relationship with Krishna in Virya Rasa. So Bhishma is a great warrior, and Krishna likes exchanging loving relation in different rasas. There are 5 primary rasas and 7 secondary rasas. The 5 primary rasas are Shanta Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Dasya Rasa, Madhurya, and Vatsalya. These are the 5 primary rasas. Shanta Rasa is worshipping God neutrally, worshipping God with neutrality. Just like the flute in Krishna's hand is serving Krishna in Shanta Rasa. The flute is not doing any active participation. It is just an instrument for Krishna to play. But it is worshipping Krishna, it is serving Krishna in Shanta Rasa. Okay, that is one example of Shanta Rasa. And Sakya Rasa is the friendship, serving Krishna as a friend. So Arjuna is the best example who served Krishna as a friend. And then Dasya Rasa, Hanuman served Lord Rama in Dasya Rasa as a servant. And Vatsalya Rasa, serving Krishna with parental affection. Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, they served Krishna in Vatsalya Rasa, parental affection. And Madhurya Rasa, worshipping Krishna in conjugal loving relationship. Like Radharani and Gopis, they worship Krishna as their lover, husband. So these are the 5 primary rasas. And then the 7 secondary rasas are Bhayanaka, Bhivatsya, Virya, Ashcharya, and then Krodha. There are 2 more. Okay. So one of the 7 secondary rasas is Virya Rasa. Adi kaadu. Avi Arishad Vargal avi. So Bhishma wanted to exchange or Bhishma wanted to worship Krishna in that Virya Rasa. He wanted to exchange loving relationship with Krishna in Virya Rasa by shooting arrows. That's why he started shooting arrows, and then Krishna picked up the wheel of the chariot and then he threw it onto Bhishma. And they both loved it. When Krishna shot arrows, when Krishna threw the wheel of chariot, and Bhishma's body was shedding blood, and when the arrows shot by Bhishma hit Krishna and blood was coming out, everyone, both Krishna and Bhishma, they were loving that exchange of relationship in Virya Rasa. So that is the second internal reason why Bhishma chose to be on the Duryodhana side. But as Naresh Prabhu said right earlier, even if the Guru, even if it is your own Guru, but if he does not, if he deviates from the principles, then you can abandon that Guru. Okay, there is something called Guru Tyaga. Guru Tyaga means renunciating the Guru. Guru is the one who teaches renunciation, but there can be a situation where you have to renunciate the Guru itself. And it is allowed in the Vedas. And even in ISKCON, there is a big document that describes the set of rules under which you can renunciate your guru. If the guru falls down from his position, if the guru deviates, then you can renunciate your own guru. And that is what Prabhupada is saying in the purport. According to scriptural codes, a teacher who engages in an abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned. Just like Bali Chakravarti abandoned Shukracharya. Shukracharya was his guru, but he was guiding in a wrong way, and Bali Chakravarti, he abandoned his guru Shukracharya. So just like that, Arjuna. So what Prabhupada is writing is, it is perfect for Arjuna to abandon the position of the worshipable position of his guru Drona and grandfather Bhishma, because they have taken the side of Duryodhana. Whatever may be the reason, external reason or internal reason, whatever may be the reason, but as a Kshatriya, you have to look at this from this perspective. And further, Prabhupada writes, although they should not have accepted such a position simply on financial consideration, under the circumstances, they have lost their respectability of teachers. But Arjuna thinks that nevertheless, they remain his superiors, and therefore to enjoy material profit after killing them would remain to enjoy spoils tainted with blood. Okay. So, okay. Anyone has any comment on this, Shloka? Yeah.
What mistake did Bali Chakravarti's guru Shukracharya has done to abandon him?
I don't know the exact details, but he was
actually Acharya of all demons.
Right. Yeah.
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 He, I think, did like get a boon or something where he, even though a demon is dead, he can bring them back to life. I mean, let's say Devas and Rakshasa are fighting, demons and gods are fighting. So even if one of the demon gets killed, he can bring them back or something. I mean, Shukracharya is the guru of all demons. So yeah, maybe Bali Chakravarti realized that and he could have
I think what
I think there was a
happened is
particular.
I know I can explain that instance, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Like when Vamana Deva came and asked the boon from Bali Chakravarti, and in that kamandal they used to put water to give that dhan, and Shukracharya became a bee and he went into that kamandal. So he was not allowing the actual thing to happen, where Bali Chakravarti wanted to fulfill his word, but he was not allowing. He was becoming a blockade. So that's the reason he abandoned his guru, because he was not allowing to do that. He was coming in the path of dharma.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So anyone else have any comment on this verse?
The other one is Bhishma. The reason for Bhishma to stay on the other side is because Bhishma gave the promise to stay with protect the kingdom, the dynasty. Promise that was made a while ago. I forgot who he made that promise. And to keep that promise, to protect the dynasty, Kuru dynasty, he had to stay on the Duryodhana side.
Who did he make a promise to?
Satyavati is
yeah. Shantanu itself,
Shantanu.
his father. Yeah. That he will always, he'll not marry again, and he'll always protect the Simhasan or the throne of who sits on Hastinapur throne. So he promises those two. And that is why I think he never married. And of course, he also, I mean, he took it literally, the meaning of it, like Hastinapur throne only, rather than like the Kuru Vamsh itself, which also constitutes Pandavas as well. But he just, he promised to protect the Hastinapur Simhasana as well. Yeah.
Whoever sits
on the throne. Yeah.
It's on the throne. Yeah.
Rashtra or Pandu, whoever.
Yeah, whoever.
So he always protects that Kuru dynasty. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ashok, you had something to say?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Next. Let's see if we can cover this 2.6 or. Purport is a little longer. Maybe we'll postpone it to next class. Yeah. So.
I had one question from today's Maharaj class.
Okay.
So Maharaj said in one of the quotes, like there are 4 places where Kali lives.
Yeah.
The Kali Purusha lives. So in our present situation, right, the places where intoxication is there, it is everywhere, right, Prabhuji? It is not just one particular place like earlier.
Yeah.
Because there are like many places which has come up. So and even in homes also. So can we consider that the Kali Purusha is there wherever intoxication is there? Or addiction is there?
Gold is another place where Kali resides. What are the other 2 places? Gambling, meat eating, illicit activities. So did Maharaj mention gold in the class today?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
So he mentioned the 4 regulatory principles and then plus gold. Okay.
Wherever there is gold, these 4 also.
These 4 also there. Yeah. Yeah. So wherever there is money, gold means money basically, right? So wherever there is money, and especially gold actually. Okay. Especially gold. So, I mean, having some amount of gold is okay. Some amount of jewelry and gold is okay. But too much of gold or too much desire for gold and jewelry, that will lead to Kali. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So wherever these 4 regulatory principles are violated and wherever there is excess of gold is desired, yeah, there is Kali. Yeah.
Yeah, it is also said that like when we buy gold once, like we keep getting that desire to buy again and again.
Yeah.
And that will eventually lead to like all the 4 coming up, and
it will lead to all other 4 anarthas.
Yeah. Kali asked this boon from Parikshit Maharaj, and he granted these 4 sthanas for him to stay, and he took 4 more, like if one leads to the other, like Prabhuji said previously, like one leads to other, and I'll be staying in another 4, which leads to greed and other stuff. And finally he asked, I need one more, that is gold, because that will be
So, and there is a best solution in today's age, actually, in the modern times. The gold jewelry is getting replaced with the 1 gram gold. What do they call? The rolled gold or the imitation gold. So that is better. It doesn't cost much. You don't have to worry about the safety of it. And Kali cannot reside there.
A bank vault.
Huh?
A bank vault.
Or bank vault.
You feel good.
Yeah.
WhatsApp meals feeling. Meals can have my WhatsApp meals.
Yeah. It's cheap and you're avoiding gold and you're not worried about the safety of it. And you can
still wear it. And
you can wear varieties of, jewelry actually. Not just one or two, but you can wear varieties of imitation gold. If it is, the golden waist, the Vajranam, you can only have one or two. But if it is made of imitation gold, you can have 100. So, yeah, I mean, I still need to get a clarification from Maharaj. Is it literally the gold metal, or for example, instead of gold, let's say somebody wants to get 100 different varieties of the imitation gold, right?
Or can we consider
that also leads
at that time, the gold was the only one way of communicating or
currency, yeah.
Currency.
He meant to be what is contributing to gold or money or cash.
Yeah.
Maharaj mentioned that cash also.
Cash also. Okay. Yeah, basically gold means money. Even in today's age, like the US Treasury, right? Whatever currency they are printing, they have to back it up with the same amount of gold.
Gold reserves.
That's the tangible asset.
The Bexan, he told today, Bexan, President Bexan, Nixon. Even he lifted that up.
He lifted that?
Yeah.
Now there is no.
Now US can print it.
They don't have to back it up with gold.
Yeah.
It's as good as paper, Prabhuji.
Even more dangerous.
Yeah, it has no worth. Earlier, they used to back it up with gold.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just paper.
It doesn't have any value now.
Yeah. Inflation will grow more.
Yeah, inflation will grow more.
We'll all suffer with layoffs.
Print more money, right? Print more money. Yeah.
Money.
I have a question.
Yeah.
A naive question, I would say. So the 4 regulative principles, is that started by Prabhupada, or is it part of the parampara that came in?
It was already there.
They're prescribed in the Vedas, because the purpose of these 4 regulative principles is meat eating. It kills mercy. And intoxication, it kills
senses.
None of the 4 qualities or the 4 principles, 4 religious principles. Mercy, and okay, so we'll come back to that intoxication. But gambling, it kills the virtue of truthfulness. Kills the virtue of truthfulness, and illicit affairs kills the virtue of cleanliness. Yeah. So we covered mercy, truthfulness, and okay, Hare Krishna. No. Yeah. So mercy, truthfulness, and cleanliness, and then intoxication. Not able to recollect the virtue related to that. So basically, these 4 regulative principles, they kill 4 virtues. They kill these 4 virtues. So it is described in the Vedas, and no other spiritual organization has emphasized on these 4 regulative principles as much as Srila Prabhupada has emphasized. So other spiritual organizations, for example, Sri Vaishnava, even in today's age, the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya people, the prominent guru is Chinnajir Swami, right? They don't have. మీరు అది ఫాలో అవుతారా? మీరు దీక్షలో తీసుకున్నారా? సమాచారాలు తీసుకున్నారా? Okay, yeah. So even in that organization, they don't have these 4 regulative principles. They don't call it out. Yeah. But unless they are enforced very strictly, it is impossible to maintain these 4 virtues: cleanliness, truthfulness, and the other one is austerity. Yeah. Intoxication, it kills the virtue of austerity.
What is austerity?
Austerity means like tapas. Okay, the austerity literal meaning is tapas. Like
losing self-control, maybe.
Huh?
Losing self-control, maybe.
Yeah, like you said, sense control. Sense control. Yeah, sense control. Yeah, controlling senses. So if somebody is intoxicated, they behave very weirdly and they lose control of their senses. Yeah, so austerity, cleanliness, truthfulness, and mercy. Yeah, these are the 4 virtues. Unless these 4 virtues are maintained, it is impossible for anyone to progress on the devotional path. So that's why there's a great emphasis given by Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anyone?
Prabhuji, I have a question regarding, we just discussed that hoarding wealth or gold is kind of not good, leads to other things.
Yeah.
So how do we see investing or trading in this modern age, Prabhuji? How good is it or how bad is it?
So trading is considered as gambling. Stock trading is considered as gambling. But again, there are some guidelines on how you can.
Long-term investment is okay.
Yeah, long-term investment is okay. So the idea is, if you are spending too much time on that, then it's not good.
5 lakhs what below gold biscuit.
So if you are spending too much time on that activity, then it's not good. It's not recommended. But long-term investments, you put some money in some stocks and then you forget about it for 5 years or 10 years. I mean, all of you people, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, you all get your salary in the form of stocks, right? So you can't avoid that. You can't go and tell that, oh no, my spiritual organization tells not to invest in stocks. Don't give me stocks. So,
but Prabhuji, let's say I have invested in one of the company, a separate stock, but we don't know what the company is doing with their money, right? We don't know exactly how they are spending it on. They might be doing something illicit, or they might be using a backdoor to like gain some money.
Yeah.
So does that mean that we are incurring some of that bad karma by investing in that?
So it is best to avoid, I mean, if you are getting salary in the form of stocks, then you don't have control over it. Okay. So let that come in the form of stocks, and then you keep it for whatever vesting period, 4 years or whatever. And then
but still that's considered gambling, right?
You avoid investing. Huh?
But still that's considered gambling, right? Like I'm just like making sure like how to see it.
No, if you are getting paid as a compensation for your work in the form of stocks, and you keep it for the vesting period 4 years, yeah, then it's not gambling, because you are not speculating. What is gambling? Gambling means you put $10 with a speculation that this $10 will fetch me $100 after 10 days. That is an example for speculation and gambling. But now you are getting paid as a compensation for your work, and you are not speculating anything on that. The stock money that you are getting, it can go up or down at the end of 4 years, the vesting period. It can go up or down. And you are not deciding anything, in which company to invest and where to put the money. You're not deciding that. So
options trading is gambling, right, Prabhuji? Options
Option
trading, or
trading.
like short-term trading or intraday trading kind of.
Yeah, day trading, short-term trading, option trading.
Yeah, option.
These are all gambling.
Yeah.
Because there is a clear intention that, okay, so I buy Amazon stock today morning and I'll sell it by the end of today. That's a clear speculation. Okay, that's a perfect example for gambling. Those type of activities should be avoided. But even the long-term investments to be avoided if you are making an investment by yourself. That should be avoided. Rather, you can consider other forms of investments like real estate investment, where there's a tangible asset rather than just electronic money, right? So you can invest in real estate, which is a tangible asset you can see, and there is no incurring of sin, because you know how that house is going to be utilized. Either you are going to live there, or your parents are going to live there, or you're going to rent it out to somebody. So now look at this way, right? We are all, not me, you're all working, in some companies, right? Stocks trading.
Stocks basically.
Yeah.
Different
so all of you are working in some companies. Now, the company CEOs, we don't know, right, how they are using their money, and even how the products are being utilized. For example, you are making all these products for Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, the cloud platform, all these things, cloud infrastructure products, right? Now, what if a terrorist uses these products for their activities? What if a criminal uses this technology for their activities? Now, are we incurring sin for making that product?
Maybe, if I have to say, it comes back to the same thing. If you work as worship, then it might not hurt you. But if you work
is worship,
maybe it will hurt.
If you see work is worship, if you work in the mode of passion or ignorance, then probably, not probably, but you will be part of those sinful activities and you will incur sinful reactions. But if you see that work as worship, because we have limited options, right? In this today's age, not everybody can go and do farming, which is 100% Vedic. According to Vedic principles, farming, cow protection is 100% aligning with the Vedic principles. But how many of us are ready to go? Except Madhuri, how many of us are ready to go and do farming and cow protection? So
yeah, I also think, Prabhuji, just adding a comment of like our lessons that we learned so far. So you mentioned that some sins will be easily removed by Krishna just by chanting his name. So I think these are the sins that we not intentionally do. Like it can be done through the work that we do by some other person that consumes our work or something like that. They can do that, or like our medicines might have some kind of meat. Now, most of women's medicines, they like prenatal take it or whatever, they contain fish oils, whatever, to provide the necessary development of baby or something like that, or whatever medicines they have some kind of it might be might contain something that we don't intentionally do or eat or perform, but by chanting Krishna's name, I think they can be removed, is what I'm hoping. Yeah, chanting Krishna name or being in service of him,
chanting Krishna names and keeping Krishna in the center. And as Mahesh said, right? If you see work as worship, okay.
Krishna.
So in my present situation, given the circumstances that I am under, the only option for me is to take up this job. I cannot go to the farm and do cultivation or cow protection now. But the least I can do is take up this job at Microsoft. But I will see this as worship. If I do this work at Microsoft, then I can maintain myself, I can maintain my family, and we all can participate in the devotional activities. So if you see work as worship in this perspective, yeah, I mean, you're not directly causing any sinful activity. Your intention is not to develop a product for the terrorists. Now, if a terrorist uses that product, then that's his problem. He will incur the sin. But as long as you work in the mode of goodness and you see work as worship, you will not incur sinful reactions.
Yeah. Also, if in terms of investing, if we are thinking, there are like companies earnings and everything, and also they show like how the product, whether they are cruelty free, or like you can also invest in clean technologies, like for example like solar technologies which uses sun's energy to, I mean, if you are like more into investing in clean kind of this thing, there are that kind of options as well, like in long term anyway, like not as a short term trading, but they are like some companies have pledged or promised to be clean, and you can choose that way as well.
You can choose clean and green companies for long-term investment. You have a decision for making long-term decisions, long-term investments. Yeah. So, okay. Mahesh, you have anything else?
And Grihasthashram, this is inevitable, and then you do it as, in fact, like, whatever the stocks that we get, I'm coming back to the Rahul's question again, that the same thing that, if you are getting, the organization is trying to pay you in the form of dividing the money into different modes. Like, they want to pay ESPP, not ESP, ESOPs in the form of
options, stock options,
stock options in the form of cash. Then there are multiple ways, like, you withdraw that as soon as it gets vested, as if it's your compensation for the work that you have done, and do not save it for your future to make it increase or something. Then so you are not getting into it. If you are buying and trading in something to get more, you get into the same lust and greed, which will, once you get into the lust, you will fall into the either of the category that you achieve it, you get, you want more. If you don't achieve it, you want to get it by any cost, and you get it the angriness. In other ways, you fall into the trap basically.
So that's a good point. In simple words, whether it is long-term investment or short-term investment, anything in the stocks is always stressful. See, okay, let's say today you buy 100 units of Microsoft stock with an intention of keeping them for long-term investment, 5 years. Now, tomorrow, if there is a news saying that Microsoft is losing revenue significantly, and then the outlook is not good, the company outlook is not good, that news will definitely hurt you, even though you have invested there for a long-term investment and not a short-term or day trading. But still, that news, such kind of news will hurt you. And you will always be on the lookout for any news related to that company that you have invested. So even though the investment is long-term, you're not selling it in one month or 2 months, but you're always on the lookout, you're always watchful. It's almost like you're doing day trading. That means anytime there is a horrible news, you are ready to jump the gun and sell that stock and come out of it. It's almost like day trading only, right? So that's why it is always stressful, whether long-term or short-term, it's always stressful. So there are other means of investment, better investment. So yeah. Okay, I think it's 7:20. We'll conclude the call here. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. Continue.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.